Well, for more on this, we turn to Julia Roknifard, a political analyst joining us from Kuala Lumpur. Good to have you on the program. So, first things first, many Arab Americans voted for Trump because of the Biden administration's pro-Israel policy in Gaza and what we're seeing in Gaza today. Was this, for you, a protest vote, a miscalculation perhaps, especially given what we know is to be the close relationship between Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu?
Hi, good to be here. I don't think that was a miscalculation. That was a calculated, indeed, as you said, protest vote. American voters faced a tough choice, or probably no choice at all, between the two major party candidates. And I think that protest vote was ran with the knowledge that President Trump, if he is to be elected, he is not going to be to make much of a difference. However, it was still a calculated attempt at showing the current administration, the Democrat administration, that things were not ran properly under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris was not persuasive enough in how she's going to deal with the Israel-Palestine issue if she were to be elected as a U.S. president. So that was a protest vote. However, at the same time, as I said, it looks like not a good choice or no choice at all. There's not much change to expect from Trump's administration, or probably there is a change to the worse in terms of the Palestinian cause, because I don't think that President Trump is going to listen to the voters, to the desires of the voters, including the Arab electorate who casted the votes in his favor. But at least together with expressing their discontent with how Biden administration was addressing the Israeli-Palestine issue, probably there is something to look forward to, that loose promise given by President Trump that he's going to end the ongoing conflicts, particularly speaking in the conflict about the conflict in Ukraine and the conflict in Palestine.
But let's come to the Middle East and its wider conflict. When we look at Lebanon, it is an independent and sovereign country whose territorial integrity is being violated constantly by Israeli attacks. I mean, obviously, to go after Hezbollah. But, you know, what are your expectations then of this Trump presidency and what it could really do for the Middle East? I mean, you talk about, you know, we understand that Trump potentially wants to end the wars in both Gaza and, of course, the wider conflict across in Lebanon. But what is going to be the cost of it all? What would Trump do for Israel? Could he perhaps be more permissive to Israel?
Probably yes, and knowing that, thinking about the strategy, how he's going to end this particular conflict, and knowing what a good friend of Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu he is, with recognizing in the past the Golan Heights, moving the consulate to from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and so on. There is not much leniency towards the Palestinian side to expect from President Trump, and probably, if to speculate about it a little bit, probably there is even some tacit agreement between him and Benjamin Netanyahu that by January that Trump enters the White House, Netanyahu is going to wrap up his campaign, and probably that's why he would be doubling down right now to wrap up the campaign, but leave it in a sort of simmering stage, not really backing down from Gaza itself, from the West Bank, because we all know very well what's going on there as well. And also not really curbing on this creeping policy of extending settlements. One thing that maybe we could hope would turn out right in this case is we've seen for the past months and for the past year, in fact, of the conflict, that a lot has been pinned on Iran, as if in Islamic Republic of Iran is the root of all evil in the region, and even the delinquent behind the 7 October 2023 attacks. So maybe President Trump, after coming back to the office, would try to resuscitate the so-called Iran deal, from which he himself withdrew in 2018, as a demonstration of his success in his foreign policy in the office. And in this, he would try to use the Palestine-Israeli issue as a kind of a bargaining chip in talking to Iran and trying to make all things work. So maybe that's the only hopeful point that I'm seeing here. Besides that, I'm afraid that at least in the simmering stage, in the simmering mode, this conflict is going to continue, and we're going to see the settlement expansion, and especially as far as the very rightist Israeli government is still in office.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what does, of course, happen with the Middle East and the US policy on that. For now, Julia Roknifard, political analyst, thank you so much.